What sacrifice did you make that others didn't appreciate? 3 years ago, my sister Lyra called me sobbing at 2 a.m. Through broken sobs, she told me her husband had just been arrested for embezzlement. Their accounts were frozen, their house was going into foreclosure, and she was left with nothing except 2 confused 6-year-old twins asking why daddy wasn't coming home. Can we stay with you for a few weeks? She begged. Just until I figure something out, please. I have nowhere else to go. I said yes immediately. I was single, had a decent job at an accounting firm, and a spare bedroom. Family helps family, right? I figured a few weeks would give her time to get back on her feet. Those few weeks turned into 3 years of my life I'll never get back. Lyra did eventually get a part-time job at a coffee shop, but she treated it more like a social club. She'd work 3 or 4 shifts a week, then spend most of her paycheck on expensive wine and gourmet takeout because she was too emotionally drained to cook. Meanwhile, I covered rent, groceries, utilities, school supplies, soccer fees, new clothes, dental checkups, literally everything that mattered. When I suggested she pick up more hours, she'd dissolve into tears about being too traumatized to handle the stress of a real job. The conversation always ended with me feeling guilty. I became the twins' de facto parent. I took them to parent-teacher conferences because Lyra was always too anxious to face their teachers. I sat with them every night helping with homework while Lyra binge-watched Netflix. I drove them to birthday parties, soccer practice, and doctor appointments, organizing my entire schedule around their needs while Lyra claimed she was working on herself. Last Christmas, I spent over $800 on gifts for the twins: bikes, video games, winter coats they desperately needed. Lyra bought me a $15 vanilla candle from CVS and complained that it was so expensive and how hard it was being a single mom. 2 months ago, I got promoted to manager with a significant raise. Lyra's response: finally, now we can move to a bigger place. I've been looking at 3-bedroom apartments in that nice neighborhood. The word hit me like a slap. I realized she had no intention of ever leaving. In her mind, we were permanent roommates, except I paid for everything while she played house. Last week, everything changed when Lyra started dating some guy named Brad from the coffee shop. Suddenly, she was ready to be independent again, but only because Brad had a steady job and had offered to move in with her and the kids. Here's the part that still makes my blood boil. She wanted to take the furniture. The sectional couch I'd bought when they first moved in, the dining table and chairs I'd purchased so we could eat together, the twin beds, dressers, and desks I'd bought for the kids' room. I need to make a proper home for my children, she said, as if I was trying to sabotage their future. When I refused, she called me selfish and accused me of never really caring about the twins. When I asked for notice to figure out my finances, she accused me of holding her children hostage. Yesterday, she moved out while I was at work, probably planned to avoid confrontation. She took the furniture anyway, plus my expensive coffee maker, my good pots and pans, and convinced the twins that I was mean for not letting them take their Xbox, which I had bought them. The twins barely said goodbye. After 3 years of being their primary caregiver, I was suddenly just the lady who wouldn't let them take their stuff. Lyra texted me, "Thanks for everything. You're the best sister ever. The kids will visit soon." I've received 0 visits and 3 requests to borrow money for various emergencies. But here's what Lyra doesn't know. I've been documenting everything for months. Bank statements, receipts, text messages, photos. My lawyer says I have a solid case for reimbursement of at least $30,000. The papers were served this morning.